Good morning. Welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Wednesday, June 24th. Let's get into the action. Take a look at the S&Ps, which are trading higher. We're up 0.4%, 0.42%. That's positive. We are seeing some rebound in tech shares this morning. So, that's ahead of this afternoon's release from Micron. So we're seeing a little momentum going into that big event. Oil prices, they're continuing to weaken. Energy supplies appear to be increasing. Shipping activity through the Strait of Hormuz is rising. And President Trump just ordered the DOJ to review oil companies as gasoline prices remain elevated. Yes, but oil prices have always gone up like a rocket ship and down like a feather. So, this falling oil prices not happening as fast as he would like. He's getting the Justice Department to take a look at it. On the economic front today, we get the new home sales data. That's scheduled for release. Then we get some big index news. Alphabet, parent of Google, that's being added to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And that's going to happen on June 29th. To Honeywell Aerospace, that's going to be added to the S&P 500 and S&P 100, replacing ConAgra brands. In corporate news, Qualcomm, they're holding an analyst meeting today at 2:15. That's a big one. Morgan Stanley, this is interesting. Morgan Stanley's private credit fund capped redemptions at 5%. It's a big one. We always watch those redemptions. Take-Two Interactive, they announced pre-order sales on a Grand Theft Auto, is going to start on June 25th. Now, the actual release is not happening until November, but there's going to be a lot of momentum around this video game title. In corporate events today, hey, NVIDIA's having a shareholders meeting today. That's a big one. On the earnings front, KB Homes is trading higher. FedEx is trading lower after their results. Paychecks, I'm still waiting to come out. Micron's releasing after the close. That's a big one. And then you take a look at the global markets, and you start off with the DAX. The DAX is lower by 0.92%, or 228 points. Defense stocks are under pressure here. There's a report that the German government may be withdrawing funding from a new warship program. The FTSE's higher by 0.09%, about a tenth of 1%. There is some weaknesses in energy and financials and aerospace sectors, but that's not surprising. The CAC in Paris is up 28 points, or 0.34%. Really, it's a rebound in luxury goods that's helping that CAC index move higher. Then we look at Asia last night, and we did see the Nikkei fall, less than 1%, 0.88%. The big issue here in Japan is the policymakers from the BOJ. They're signaling further interest rate hikes are likely. But you look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong finally got into the green. They finished higher by 0.33%, and they had gains in tech, retail, financial stocks. China also moved higher, 0.11% higher with gains in tech, semiconductors, electronics, and materials. They all advanced. So that's all positive. And then we look at oil, and oil is trading lower. We got WTI at $71.05 a barrel. We got Brent at $74.75 a barrel. That's down about 3%. Now, there's a growing number of tankers that have resumed transit through the Strait of Hormuz. That's very positive. And then there's news out that the UAE's oil exports in June have rebounded nearly 85% to pre-conflict levels. They're being supported, they're able to get that oil out using a variety of pipelines, and new alternative routes around the Strait of Hormuz. So, oil is flowing out of the Gulf. And then you had the API estimates, which came out after the close yesterday. They showed a draw on inventories of 765,000 barrels, which is positive for oil prices, but this is much, much lower than what has been in recent weeks. So, oil prices aren't going to react much to that. Now we're taking a look at the earnings action. We're going to start off with KB Homes, ticker KBH. Face the facts that their stock's trading higher by 3.55%. They missed by 2 cents, but it was done on higher revenue. Then you look at FDX, FedEx. That stock's down 7.3%. They beat by 36 cents on higher revenue. But remember, they spun off one of the companies, so their forecast is going to be a little weaker than what was anticipated in previous quarters. After the bell, we got Micron, ticker MU. Their EPS is $20.81, and that expected move is 12.87% when they release this afternoon. Okay, what do we got today? We got economic reports today. The key one is new home sales that's coming out at 10 a.m. It's like a 1.65% increase is what's from last month is what's expected. Bring that number to around 632,000 new homes sold. Then at 10:30 a.m. we get the EIA oil stockpiles reports. That's going to be a key one. What else do we have going on? We've got to talk about the FANG stocks. And, I guess we got to start off with the news on Amazon because AWS and Nokia are collaborating to run Nokia's autonomous network fabric on AWS, which gives operators access to advanced AI and cloud services that require level 4 autonomy. Google's parent Alphabet being added to the Dow. That's going to strengthen the index's exposure to a more dynamic sector than low-vol telecom. Meta Platforms, the Trump administration is urging Meta to voluntarily submit its AI models for government review to assess its capabilities. Tesla, JP Morgan's out there reducing Tesla's Q2 deliveries estimates due to mixed signals. Then we got to talk about Dow Jones 30 stocks. We got to talk about Nike, NKE, former Pfizer CFO David Denton. He was just named the new financial chief for Nike. Verizon's being moved out of the Dow Jones Industrial Average on June 29th, being replaced by Alphabet. I really thought it would be Nike to be removed, but they removed Verizon. Walmart is paying $1.4 billion for their French ad tech firm Vizio. Merger news: Qualcomm to acquire AI software firm Modular. Guidance news: FedEx, FDX sees full year 2026 EPS coming in $6.90 to $18.10. That's a really wide spread. KB Home sees Q3 housing revenue $1.2 billion to $1.35 billion. Street estimates $1.35 billion. It's not great. That's okay. On the corporate calendar, hey, it's all about NVIDIA having their shareholders meeting today. Buyback news: FedEx. It came out yesterday. FedEx, repurchasing 1 billion shares, opportunistically is what they said yesterday after their earnings release. Catalyst calls ECL, that's Echo Labs. Citibank ups its price target and opens up a 90-day positive catalyst watch on the stock. Okay, we're going to move to our pick of the day. And, I'm going to go with McCormick, ticker MKC, Michael Charlie Kilo. Earnings are out tomorrow morning. You look at the call volume yesterday, 25,032 calls versus 667 puts. That's a 0.25 put-to-call ratio. That's sweet spot. Open interest, 29K to 15K. I like that. Major brokers, they continue to have buy ratings on the stock, although they've been lower price targets. But you look at the stock MKC, and it is weak. I mean, I'd like to get in. My entry price really is $46.95. I want to get in low 47s. $46.95 is really what I'm targeting. It might be a little too low, but that's my pick of the day. MKC, McCormick on an earnings play. Earnings out tomorrow morning. Ticker MKC. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the news that's hit in the press in the last 15 minutes or so. See what we see. Qualcomm to acquire AI native platform provider Modular. Okay. Wendy's shares up pre-market, about 21%. And it's kind of a short squeeze. Target launching back-to-school promotions focused on designer partnerships. CVS, Florida's AG, subpoenas CVS Health over reimbursement rates. GameStop's CEO, the board granted the CEO's request to remove performance award to focus on the eBay acquisition. Honeywell replacing ConAgra in the S&P 500 on June 30th. China approved Lilly's GLP-1 pill to come as soon as 2026, according to executives at Lilly. Trump's going to meet with munitions makers today to push weapons replenishment. Apple's aims to release better and more TV shows and movies on its streaming platform. Comes from Eddie Q. That's all I'm seeing this morning. Okay, now we're going to talk about a stock of the day from yesterday. Listen, I went with Verizon. It was a safety play, but boy, did it work out. I mean, the stock opened up at 45.71. It ran up, and then it fell to 45.40. Then it ran, and it hit a high of 46.85 before closing at 46.73, which is like 3%. So, yeah, we beat the 1%. Verizon was a perfect pick, in yesterday's negative action in the market. So, yeah, Verizon was a winner. We like that pick. All right, traders, that concludes today's podcast. You guys know what to do. Let's go out there and let's make some green.